So so back to video question and answers. Let's start with Jonathan. I don't know the rest of the name. So he said, "Miss my 407 coupe every day. Thanks for this great review. Keep making 407 content." Yeah, I'll do my best. It all depends on which vehicle that inspires me at a particular point in time. I try to talk about the vehicle. So but let's see. Most time it depends on, like, let's assume I'm using the car that particular day. I just feel it. Some things I'll feel, I'll like, oh, let me just praise the car or talk about it. So I'll do my best to keep making videos on 407, but the other models, I'm talking about the saloon and the station wagon, including the coupe. Okay, so moving on. This is from Kennedy Mecha. He said, "How many from that did you clock?" Uh, okay, I think that was the instrument panel of my 407 coupe, where I mileage. It showed the mileage and the trip meter. I forgotten which one it showed 607. I think either the mileage or trip meter showed 607, while the other one showed 407. So, I was just driving. No, what happened? I drove to a place and parked the car. As I was just about to switch off the 407 engine, my eye just crossed that display, and I saw that. I was like, wow, let me catch this moment. So I took the picture. So, funny enough, that particular time I was driving, I was even thinking of the 607. Something made me, I was just going through my mind, 607, 607, you know. Only for me to get to the destination. I was driving 407, enjoying the 407, got to the destination, even though 607 was also in my mind. And then look at it, right there on the display, showing both the car I was driving and the vehicle that was in my mind. Some people will say law of attraction doesn't work. Well, there's nothing I can say. Sometimes, I don't know. Let me just leave it to that. Okay, so talking about what I did, the mileage was showing 100 and something thousand on the 407 instrument panel. Now, when I got the car, see, look at what happened. It was very interesting. When I did the test drive, it was around 99,000 something. So it was the test drive was like 10 kilometers. I'm not sure I did more than I did up to, or maybe up less than that 10 kilometers. So after the inspection, so I now did the drive. Of course, test drive was part of the inspection anyway. So by the time I went back to the dealer stand and parked the car. Boom! It just showed 105, 100,005, no, 100,000, 2 kilometers something. I was one that clocked that 100,000 with the test drive. So anyway, I didn't even bother more because like I tell people, I don't really care about mileage when it comes to buying a used vehicle. What matters is the condition of the car. Yes, you might consider mileage in terms of maybe the suspension. Yeah, but engine and the others, I don't really care about those things. Like I always say, some mileage, you can see a car with 50,000 kilometers and the engine or the gearbox has been replaced or dead. Or you can see another one with 50,000 or less than 50,000 kilometers. The body has been bashed everywhere and there, interior tattered. There are so many cars that are less than 50,000 kilometers or a little bit above 50,000 kilometers mileage that their engines are always smoking, gearbox misbehaving. So that's why I don't really care about mileage. It's about how the car was maintained and kept by the previous owner or owners. That's what matters to me. The current condition of that vehicle at the point of test driving or inspecting the car is what matters. So it was then after I made the purchase, the vehicle papers. Now I now took over the vehicle papers. Of course, the car came with complete vehicle paper. I'm talking about owner's manual, what's it called, service manuals. There's so many books. You know how it is. All those books that people usually buy cars with. And then some of them during the warranty, they'll be going for services. They'll be giving them some receipt. Everything was in that book. It is like a folder. So I came with it. Like I said, both the owner's manual, service manual, repair. Okay, not repair manual. So it was from the service manual when it was still under warranty. No, I think it has passed exceeded warranty. So, but it just continued the servicing and everything. That I saw that the car has actually done over 200,000 kilometers. The last service the guy the first owner did on that car with this on the book, the manual, this thing, over 200,000 kilometers. That was around 2014, 2015, before the car was shipped to Nigeria. So that tells you that so in other words, I don't even know, like who even know whether I can't remember. I think maybe like 20. I can't remember exactly the year they stopped the entry on the service manual, but my attention was on the mileage. The last mileage was around 200 something thousand, like 280 or thereabout. So maybe the owner sold it to another person in Europe. And the person used it before he now sold to whoever that purchased and shipped it to Nigeria. So throughout that time, it was no longer record. There was no record anymore until I got the car of the mileage. So meaning that when he entered Nigeria, somebody tampered with the mileage. I want to believe it was done in Nigeria. Tampered with the mileage and reduced it. So meaning the car must have gone beyond 300,000 kilometers right now. So somebody tampered it and reduced it to less than 100,000, because everything is still factory. The BSI, the ECU, the instrument panel, everything on that car. Even I had to remove the instrument panel at some point because I changed the display. As a technician, when you are removing something for the first time, you will know nobody has touched that place or that particular part. This is the first time of removing that part. So I can tell you everything about the car. So nothing has been changed. Yeah, the car has done over, of course, since 2015, it has done over 300,000. So the mileage currently is showing 100,000, so it's not correct. So I don't know. So for now, I'm no longer using that to tell how the true mileage of the vehicle. So unfortunately, like I said, somebody tampered it. So as it is now, I know that, like I said, when I did let's just say I started using the car for 100,000 kilometers, the current mileage, after I signed what they've tampered on. So I started using it. I bought it at about 100,000. Like I said, I was the one that got the mileage to 100,000. The current one you are looking at. So you can now check what you see on the screen. That's what I've covered, I've used. So I hope that makes sense. So I also want to use the opportunity. All these people that tamper mileages, it makes no sense. And also, people use it to deceive dealers. They use it to deceive people. And the people they deceive, honestly, to me, they deserve it. Because I've been saying that I don't understand people. You want to go and buy a car, you'll be looking for a low mileage vehicle. knowing that it will be expensive. When you are talking about low mileage vehicle, that's why they use it to cheat you people. Out of 10 cars that may have less than 50,000 kilometer mileage on the vehicle that is available for sale, only 1 or 2 may actually have the correct or the actual mileage. The rest have been tampered because they know people, there's high demand for low mileage, so they will increase the price. So it's people that are causing all those things, and that's why they, so if they deceive you, it's up to you, because you will pay like double sometimes, 20 or 30% increase to had it been it had the original mileage. So they will add, maybe if it's a car, add about additional 1 million naira or even more, since you want a low mileage vehicle. So I don't care. Like I said, I as a technician, I see cars that have gone beyond 400,000 kilometers. Everything is in the same condition. Here in Nigeria, they bought them Tokumbo maybe at about 300,000 kilometers. Now I see them 400. One is even showing, is it 500 or 600? Same engine, same gearbox. Yeah, people are busy running after 30,000. There's nothing wrong with that too. When you see the actual 30,000 kilometer used vehicle that was well maintained, you can tell the difference. You don't even need the mileage to tell you. When you see that this car is like basically a brand new car. Don't need mileage. So if I see there's a car there, see there are Tokumbo cars I'll be expecting. I don't bother with scanning the vehicle. Some dealers in Abuja, they know me already. I don't bother scanning. It's only when I see one that look like maybe the whoever that used the car last is not that type that maintain car properly. Yeah, some things the body might be okay, but when you look at certain things, even the body or the interior, all these things they tell. So in that case, I'm like, yeah, it's Tokumbo, but let me just scan just to know. But there are cars I will see. What do you mean scanning? So, something you see look like brand new. It's as if you are seeing. What are you scanning? So in that case, I don't need mileage. Yeah, it makes sense when you see such cars. Oh, if you have the money, buy it, because they usually cost more. Buy it. So okay. So moving on from that one. Damilola Ajayi, he said, good job. Now I know what one stands to gain by consulting yourself. Okay, that's a post concerning my vehicle's pre-purchase inspection report. Yeah. Sometimes I don't like wasting time trying to describe some of the things I do. I mean, it takes like the last one I did. I mean, the client sent pictures of about 2 or 3 cars online. They found online, or people were sending to him and wanted me to help him to inspect. The first one, was it the first or the second one? Was only the no, I think it was only the first. I saw the pictures. The first 2 he said, of course, they were looking okay. You know how pictures can be deceptive. They can't really show you the actual condition of the car. Even the body, you might be looking at it, you look so neat. One thing you observe, for people who don't know, you see some of these cars they advertise online. Most times, the pictures you see online will be the pictures the current owner saw when he purchased the car. That's whoever he purchased the car from. Most times it will be the picture that person posted. So he will save the pictures. When he now wants to sell the car, few years later, after the body or interior or the engine has been tattered or thereabouts, so the condition has changed. It's no longer as good as or clean as it was when he purchased it. He will still use those same pictures when the car was looking much better to advertise the car. So that's why, see, I always tell people, when it comes to, see, if you are coming to me to help you purchase a Peugeot vehicle, if you can, please just spare me that online thing. I don't go there. If that is the only way you want me to get your car for you, don't bother to come to me. It's as simple as that. I don't bother going there. It's a way. There was a time I was doing that. I will end up spending more than 20,000 naira on fuel. You don't going on. Some will call you and tell you, oh, I'm at Malaba. You leave wherever you are. You spend about 5,000 naira for it to go there and see a mess. The next person will tell you, oh, I'm at Kubwa Road. I'm at, what's it called, Zuba. But the person that owns the car or the seller is not around. But you can go and meet him at what's it called? Jaye Estate. Maybe he's there with the car. You just be wasting fuel going here and there. And most time you end up going there and seeing nonsense. There are some that I will see. I will even want to come down for the car. Because I have the picture. Once I see the number plate and say, oh, is this the car? I'll just turn and we go my way. You know. Because like I said, pictures, most times it's not what you see on the picture. It will all look fine until you get there and you see the car has been panabited out of shape. Body filler, every part of the body. Once you start applying body filler when your car have accident, you start applying body filler to smoothing to make it useful. Honestly, well, unless you don't really care or whatever, if you start to sell the car, whatever you get out of it, you don't care, fine. But if not, just like this particular one I bought, I posted the report on the channel. Somebody hit the driver's door where the car was parked in the man's compound. Somebody hit the driver's. Well, guess what the man did? Of course, what you would have done, like most Nigerians, to go take it a panel beat and they start hitting, bam, 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 bam. See if they can straighten it, apply body filler. We should have messed up the value of the car. So what he did, he went and bought another used door that was still straight, nothing, no scratch, no bend, nothing. They removed the old door, swap those things inside the old. In fact, the impact even affected the window control motor. You know, that motor that pulls the window up and down. It affected it, they have to change it as well. But swapping every other thing from the old door to the because when you're buying a door, what you're buying is just the metal. Swapping everything, we spread it, that was it. You know. I mean only the door. Of course, I know months later or so, there might be a slight difference between the door and the rest of the car because it's newly painted. And I looked at the quality of the paint. It wasn't as great as, it's not that great paint. So I told you, even before you pay for the car, you know, in most time, expect that the door, the color will dull a little. Because the rest of the car is still what we call, it's not just first body, follow paint, as in they've not touched anywhere. You know, so, and it's still intact, still glittering. So eventually this one will dull. So what you do, you'll be using, before it gets to that time, maybe it could be about by next year. You can now, you yourself, only the door, you can paint only the door, it will be like the other. What you need is find a good painter. Find a good painter and somebody who will be honest enough to get a quality paint for you. Because some might collect the money and still use useless paint or useless quality paint. So get somebody and use high quality paint for you. And it's still like that. To blend it with the rest of the car. So those are the things. So don't stop the idea of, I know I always said the idea of doing this bumper to bumper drive. I always use that word. It's a stupid way of driving. People do it as if you don't drive that way in Nigeria, you don't know how to drive. That is like the norm. Everybody behind you is blowing horn. Hey, why are you giving the car in front of you this gap? Close the gap. This everybody is like, yeah, you carry keke napep. You can't even make any move if you come to running with my own car. Yet you are busy blowing horn as if your car, the engine want to blow up because it's not running. I don't even get Nigerians. You know, all those bumper to bumper drive, it increases chances of scratching, hitting. There are cases where you will be behind the vehicle. Sometimes, shit that they always say shit happens. Something might happen and you miscalculate. Maybe you thought the car started the traffic has started moving and you immediately accelerated. Only to it hasn't moving. But if you are that cool, immediately wow, you hit the vehicle. There's nothing you can. But if there is that gap, once there is that small gap, whatever happens, for example, it's automatic. Let's assume it's automatic car. Of course, when you are in traffic, most times you stop the car with your brake and hold it. Once the traffic start moving, the car in front of you moves, you release the brake, the car start moving. You don't even need to accelerate. Or even if you accelerate, just a little. So the car is always ready to move. In fact, you are the one holding the car. It's almost like the car is already moving. You are holding it with your brake. So guess what happened? You are so close, almost the nose, the bumper of your car is almost like one finger in between the rear bumper of the car in front of you. If anything happens and your legs slip off on the brake pedal or you release your brake pedal on time thinking that the car is already moving, you will hit that car. Always give the car, there's always something might happen in between that so that once the gap is there, you can prevent whatever happens. Sometimes you can even be in front and one stupid person will come and push you, hit you small behind. But because you are so close to the other one behind, instead of damaging only your rear bumper, it will also damage the front because as you are hitting, you are so close to the other one, it will push your car and hit that one. But if there's a gap, when it happens, you just move a little. You won't get to the one in front. I always tell people, be logical. I don't know. It's not even a common sense can even tell you this, even if you have zero logic in your mind. And what do you mean by gap? In any vehicle you are sitting in, behind the wheel, look toward from the windscreen. If you are not seeing the rear tires of the car behind you, if you are not seeing that tire, I'm not saying the bumper, you need to be seeing the tires of the car that is in front of you on the road. Whether you are in a traffic light or wherever traffic is the traffic jam is bad, no matter how. If you are not seeing that car, then you are dangerously close to the vehicle. Anything that happens, you are likely going to either you hit the car or something will happen. Let me give you another secret people don't know, but you can apply it and see if what I'm saying is true. When you apply the way I drive, you realize that people always, when they come very close to your behind your vehicle and they are blowing horn, seeing that you are not the type that is doing bumper to bumper, you see what will happen? They will enter the other lane and overtake. They will cause you, do everything, but guess what? They won't stay long behind you. You will always find a way overtake because but when they see somebody, they will see that you are their type. You like also doing bumper to bumper to the point of kissing your car nose to the tail of the other car. They will follow suit. That's when they will even be more rough because they will be expecting you will be driving the way they drive. So they will even be from standstill. They will push the throttle almost to the floor with the intention of before he hits you, he will mash his brake with hope that the brake will be able to hold the vehicle without hitting yours. But when they realize that the traffic moves, it takes you some seconds before you now move, they will be angry because no point of them following you the same way. They will overtake and move. Just try it once, you see. You eventually realize, so all these things you'll be wasting your time. Look at, and guess what? Seconds. All this is I'm saying is seconds. You might say, hey, this thing you're doing means you are not where you're going is not important. It's seconds. Just a little patience. Within seconds, everything you will pass wherever that place is. Guess what will happen? You wreck your car. Tomorrow you start crying that your car doesn't want anything. Sometimes you feel so ashamed of yourself. You come to where your so-called or you see other forces, they will park. Your own will look like one kabu that have gone out of shape. Because almost there are different thickness of layers of body filler that panel beater have been applying. Every day you have panel beater workshop. They apply one form of This side, they put one thing of body filler. The other side, they put... You get a point, your car will be so heavy. If the factory kg is 1,200 kg, the body filler added on the car has already increased and added additional 100 kg to the car. Tomorrow you start complaining the car is consuming too much fuel when you have already added additional 100 kg load. Why would you consume fuel? You know how thick body filler? Go and carry a tin of body filler. You know how thick or how heavy body filler can be. I know I'm taking too much time on this one. I'm just trying, people be logical. Start thinking I don't know. It's just a crazy things now in Nigeria. Everybody just driving like madman, I always tell people, look at mine. I know that, like I say, shit happens sometimes. Sometimes you just stay on your own. One stupid person will just come from nowhere and hit your car. Yeah, it's not those ones I'm talking about. I'm saying the ones you yourself are doing and creating on your car. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, so yeah, that's what it is. When I'm inspecting cars, once I see cars that, even if it has a body filler, it depends on the degree of the body filler. Even if you have spread your car, I don't care. Some they say, first body, I don't care about those things. If you want to spray your car, do it, let it be a very neat job. Look at my 505. People are trying everything, looking at the car, praising the car. Didn't I spray it? Is it still follow paint? Because of how neat the paint was done, and it didn't matter anymore that it was resprayed. It's no longer follow paint. But it was done so neat that, that's what matters. So I don't care about what matters is keep the pan, keep the body intact as much as possible. Let the fault not come from you, so that whatever you minimize the risk of other people hitting you. Until let it be that yes, you once, like I say, a stupid person from somewhere. But on your own, you are doing your best. When you try, you see that it will take a while before you get a scratch on your car. When you are driving your car so carefully, the push depends on how you value your car. How you value your car depends on how you use the vehicle. There are no two ways about it. There's nothing to preach about it. When you care so much, when you value that car so high, in fact, you will even once you see a small traffic, you will even divert, move another road, even if it take you longer. That's what I mean. Nobody will take you. Will rather enter filling station, add more fuel. As long as you avoid that congested road, one stupid Okada person or keke napep or stupid driver or one stupid private car can come and hit your car. No, I don't want any scratch on my car. I will enter expressway, avoid that congested street road. It's just like people like traveling. Those of us that travel to the eastern part of Nigeria, most often for holidays or whatever reason, from Abuja. Some prefer going to like Anambra State, using Okene, Onitsha road or routes. It's shorter, so they are looking at, I don't want to spend additional 1 hour on the road or additional 10 liters on the road, because those that take Enugu will maybe add additional because it's longer, so you spend more time on the road, maybe additional 1 hour or 2 hours max in the journey if you follow that Enugu road. And then you spend maybe additional 3,000 naira fuel if you follow that same road. So why waste that kind of time? But guess what? That's one I've been following ever since I came to this Abuja. That's the one I've been following. Yeah, it's longer, I don't care. It will cost me more fuel to do that, I don't care. But guess what? It's the safest, number one. Number two, the roads, yes, bad, but not that bad compared to the other. Though now I don't even know which one is even worse. The roads, yeah, bad. But at least these things, the safe when it comes to crime, that roads I've not said zero crime, but it's not compared to the other one. Both daylight and night, there is always robbery. But people are so myopic, I don't know how to say it. They're just looking at, I would rather go and risk, being robbed I would rather go and risk losing this car I'm driving. So I will follow Onitsha road so that I will get to Onitsha on time, or so that I won't have to spend additional 3,000 naira on fuel. But you know the risk of just to make that small money, to save that small money is not worth it compared to the other person that will take the other one. So that's what I'm saying. Be logical in your life. Think like, sometimes people, I don't know, poverty has made some people so. There's nothing like rational, as in they are like brain dead. Everything they think about is how do we save? How do we reduce time? That's all they care about. Even if it's the most dangerous thing. It's like putting a gun in your head and saying, no, I don't know. See, I don't know. So the best thing I can do, I'll just live my own life and share my life, part of my life, as an example for people who, they find it inspiring to try the same or something similar. There are so many roads to this life, so it doesn't have to be one path. Let people do the other ones, but it's just that at the end of the day, they all come and start complaining when you put yourself in such a difficult situation. Okay, so yeah, I know I've spent some time on this, but it's not, when you follow some of the things I talk about, it's not just about just cars. It's just a lifestyle you can choose to emulate. I'm just explaining my own lifestyle. Hopefully, you might find it interesting. I'm not saying do exactly the same, but start thinking out of your own way. Maybe my own style is not even the best. But when you figure out your own, out of the rest of the majority, what the majority believe is better or good, yours might even be better than mine. All I'm saying is, I don't know. I don't know again. So, moving on. So, this from Talks, FTW. It said BMW engines, lots of problem with steam valves. So yeah, that's a video I did concerning weakness of EPC engines. It's not like people call it BMW engine. It's not like BMW engine. These engines were I'm not gonna lie, because the engine has problem. I will now shift the blame to another brand because I love Peugeot that much. No. Doesn't mean Peugeot is always perfect in everything. So these EPC engines were produced by Peugeot and BMW. It's as simple as that. It's just a PRV engine that was produced by Peugeot, Renault, Volvo. So why would I all of a sudden say, no, Peugeot, the engine is bad? Funny enough, Seth, when that engine was produced, the Peugeot one was not giving problem, but the ones that were used in Volvo was giving problem. But the one that was used in Peugeot were not giving problem. Because what happened was, when they designed that, when they produced that PRV, from the cylinder head, each brand will now decide how to modify theirs. But the bottom part of it are basically the same. But from the cylinder head, Volvo might decide, oh, okay, I'll put mine on Volvo 760. So I want to increase the power a little beyond the standard one we all produced. So to do that, I need to change or make the camshaft a little bit different, or work differently, or this and that. The ones in the Volvo that time was having camshaft lubrication issue, but the ones in Peugeot weren't doing that. And I'm not sure I had any issue from the Renault same engine as well. So my point is, but at the end of the day, it's still PRV, these three companies that produce this engine model. So when it comes to EPC engine, these are two companies that came together and produced the engine. So as based on what I've gathered concerning EPC engine, that people, I think what happened was because the engine was used in Mini Cooper, so people started calling it Prince engine for the Mini Cooper version. So it's not, I'm not gonna lie, it's not BMW issue, it's BMW and Peugeot issue, as far as that engine is concerned. So what happened was, this was their first product, when they started that engine, was it 2007 or so, I've forgotten. I don't know about when it started to show on Mini Cooper, but I know for Peugeot, it started around that 2007, that time, because 307 ended in 2008. 307 ended in 2008. So, but I know from 207, I've forgotten when 207 started. They started to introduce that EPC engine. So, it's likely that 207, I don't know whether it started before 308. But I know when 308 started, they also introduced that EPC engine on 308. That's the T7 version of 308. So, which started in 2008, 2007. I think it should be 2008 or 2007, 2008, because it was almost like towards the end of 307 that 308 started. The sales started. So, with that, I can understand their engine, their valve stem says they don't like. It doesn't matter the brand. The only thing I will say about the valve stem, just like I said, the engines, they don't like to be packed for a long time. That's what I mean by unused. Once you start using them, you have to keep using. Once you pack them for a long time without using the car, I can't say categorically for how long, but I know when they packed. So, let me put it in a different way. If you buy a used engine of that vehicle, what we call like Tokumbo in Nigeria, that Tokumbo means falling used, the ones they brought in from outside Nigeria, that was removed from wrecked vehicles, or or from junkyards and imported and shipped to Nigeria to be sold. Once you buy such cars, if you don't change the valve stem cells, you are wasting your time. 99.9% of the time, you are wasting your time. So you can as well, before you even mount the engine, remove the cylinder head, change the valve stem cells and mount it. I know there's also a risk that you may put the engine and the engine may even have a problem, you return it. Yeah, well, that's one of the risks. Unless you are comfortably doing it after you have mounted the engine. It's easier to do it on the ground. Because when the engine is still on the ground, you can easily, you may not understand, EPC engines, it's not easy to remove the accessories, especially the one behind. I'm talking about the intake manifold, what's it called? Fuel injectors, especially fuel injectors. Wow, go ask the technician what it takes to remove, especially for the first time. You can do it easily on the ground without breaking the injector. But once you mount that engine, wow. I always tell people, if you are removing fuel injector on EPC's engine for the very first time, expect, it's not like it must happen, but expect that 1 or 2 out of those 4 injectors might break. For the that first time you are removing it, as in, let's assume, ever since they produce the car, they never touch it, and this you are removing for the first, expect that 1 or 2 might break. There is no room. There is no, the way they position that cylinder head, those injector on the cylinder, directly on the cylinder head, you really need a good space to be able to pull them out without breaking them, because they will be very hard to come out that first time. It will be like they were actually gummed permanently on the cylinder head, on those holes. So trying to force them out, sometimes you end up breaking them. And it's not the fault of the mechanic, it's just the way it is. But when it's on the ground, it's easier to do that. The reason why I'm pointing that out, because when you want to change the valve stem cells, you remove the cylinder head, you won't want to leave all those things on the cylinder head while taking it to where they will change the valve stem cells. Unless the mechanic or the person will come there and do it, because leaving accessories to take it there is not safe. Unless you will take it and stay there, but as they are moving up the cylinder head, they may likely break. You're supposed to remove all those accessories. I'm just talking about Nigerian thing. I don't know about the foreign places where most mechanics actually have all the tools to do all these things themselves. You don't need to take it to any specialist or to remove the cylinder, those valves themselves. They do it by themselves, so they have the tools. So in that case, not a problem. However, it's still easier to do it on the ground. So, but if you feel you don't, if you want the engine, what will happen is you start the car. Engine will run, you confirm the engine is okay now. By the time you take it for a drive, you just look to you look to the rearview mirror. You will see cloud of smoke, bluish smoke following you. Like I said, 99.9% of the time it will happen. It's only once. How many EPCs engine? I'm talking. It's like when I say EPC, I'm not talking about only THP. Both the VTI 120 and the THP engines. Out of all the ones I've changed for people, only one, let's assume there are about 20 or more than 20 now. Only one, it was actually a VTI 120 engine that I changed. I bought a Tokumbo, mounted it, it did not smoke. For days, I used the car for some days before I returned it to the owner. It did not smoke. So, but I still use it that year because, oh, this one did not happen. Now, that's the only one I knew that didn't smoke when I mounted it. But the rest, so after it happened, it taught me a lesson. After about 3 times, I said, enough is enough. Once I get that engine, remove it on the ground before. I don't care. It must be done on the ground so I won't have to break anything after mounting the engine. Remove it, deal with it, mount it. If the engine is bad, fine. When I get back to the seller who can negotiate, the Vast MC is not even that expensive. I would rather waste that money. It's not that, it's a cheaper. They are cheaper. How many of them? 16. They are not expensive. I can risk that money. Yeah, let it go. I will return the engine. Let's assume the engine is bad actually. I will return it, take another one, and risk it. Rather than breaking things that will cost 5 times of the valve MC, because you want to test the engine first to be sure it's working before you change the valve MC if eventually it's weak. So I'm just saying, as far as EPCs in the engine, be ready for that. If you are the type that don't like your engine to be opened, even if you are buying a used engine, then don't bother with buying a Tokumbo EPCs engine or a used EPCs engine, because it's going to happen. Even the one you are using, even if it's good, your engine is so good, you park the car. I don't know how, I can't say for sure how long, but let's just say you park the car, travel after 2-3 years or months, I don't even know. You come back and start the engine, start smoking. What do you do? Will you condemn the engine because the Vast MC is failed? Won't you change it? So it's the same thing. You can as well do it on the used ones you purchase. It's just a weakness on those engines. You accept it. It's a major weakness. They do fail once they are not used for some time. They fail, and they are very easy to be changed. So you better do it. There was a video I did before. I talked about there are special tools now that have been made that you can use to remove the valve stem cells without even removing the cylinder head, the engine cylinder head. You can do that. So if that is the case, if you have the tech, you can buy the tools, fine. You have the technical know-how, good as well. So you can do it, or find someone who can use that tool, because it's not that well, I'm not saying it's difficult, but I'm saying it's not like you look at the tool and figure it out. No, you have to learn how to do it. So the tool is available. There are some videos on YouTube or other video platforms that you can watch some of those things, and there are also books on it you can also use to learn how to use that tool to change the valve stem cell without removing the cylinder head. So those are the options you have. But as far as this is, just be ready. If you are buying any EPCs powered Peugeot vehicle, you can't run away from it. You will experience it at some point. Even if the car is not smoking at the time you purchase, just be ready. It's going to happen. So when it happens, don't freak out. It's cause that It's not expensive to fix. The only thing is you have to the stress involved. You have to remove the cylinder head. They do this, remove all these accessories. Yeah. Like those time when you remove the cylinder head, you don't remove the injectors when the cylinder head is already off the vehicle. When it's on the you remove it from the car. It's now be easier for you to pull it out before taking the cylinder head where they will change the valve stem cells. But doing it on the engine, so that's what I mean. Moving on. I don't know who is this person. Abasifreke Batubo. He said the mediocre mechanic got my Peugeot guru angry on this one. This is a video I did on Peugeot 407 with EW12J4 engine and 6-speed manual gearbox. This car, yeah, I was really expecting. This car is actually, I think it was station wagon 407 with EW12. I always, whenever I see 407 with EW12J4 engine and manual, I do appreciate them. You see, guys, I drive them. I know how good they are. Of course, they are not that powerful in terms of the performance of the engine, but I know how sweet they can be, especially the ones in good condition. They are lovely to drive. It's not about, it's not as fast as V6. That's not the point. They are just the combination. I mean, the design is very sweet. The way the gearbox behaves with the engine as you're accelerating and shifting. No, that manual gearbox with that engine is sweet on 407. So whenever I see an abused one, it pisses me off because this is a very lovely design and somebody decided to mess up. So that was, I poured my anger on that video. I wasn't even the one that I was giving the car to repair. I was at a workshop and the mechanic was, one mechanic that bought it was complaining, oh, this man went and did this thing to this car. Now this car has so many issues. He was complaining to me, this and that. I was like, So that was what happened in that video. So guys, Nigerians, stay away from Peugeot if you know you just can't help abusing cars. I know it's your money. You can say, do whatever you want to do on your car. But don't just, like I always say, when you are done with your abuse, don't bother to come to my side. Say, I beg, come and help me sell your car. I will embarrass you. It's as simple as that. Total was 5,000. This from Mohammed Ali. He said 4 days. What about 307? How long can I use the oil? Was 9,540. I've talked about this usage thing. If you want, you follow manufacturers. Peugeot recommend this oil for the engines they are recommended for. In Nigeria, he said 10,000. Is it 10 or 12? 10 or 12,000? No, 10,000 kilometers, I think. Or 12 months, whichever comes first. So when I tell people, at least 6 months is okay. If you want to exceed 6 months, maybe for some reasons you decide to exceed 6 months, maybe 8 months max or 10, it won't kill the engine. Then in terms of kilometers, I can't say for sure. You don't have to drive it up to that 10,000 kilometers. You can do. The reason why I'm saying this is some people follow this instruction and their engines are intact. Me, I go beyond 6 months with this oil. I don't get to the mileage, but I go beyond 6 months, sometimes 10 months, sometimes 12 months. But then sometimes you hear people that complain that, oh, I used this at 12 months, the engine failed or engine did not last. I don't know whether it was because they followed the instruction and they operated the engine or other factors. So because of that, I was like, okay, so see, 6 months is under usage to change this oil, but it's safer. It's safer, at least, no matter what. Anything less than 6 months is a waste of money as far as this oil is concerned. I know how good this oil is. So anything less than 6 months or maybe less than 5,000 kilometers is a waste of money. However, if you have it, your engine will not die if you are changing your oil every 1,000 kilometers or 3 months. Your engine will not die. You will stay healthy. So if you have the money, buy. There's nothing wrong. I'm just saying on average, if you feel that no need to waste that money, and still keep the car in good condition, at least 6 months is okay. Maybe 7,000 kilometers is okay, whichever comes first. You can do 5,000 kilometers. Everyone, see, it's all about you. If you want what manufacturer said, then follow my Peugeot. Peugeot said he said outside Nigeria for less harsh region, that's where their weather is not as harsh as Nigeria. They do 24 months. That's the recommendation. 24 months or what's the mileage? Can't even remember. But I know months, 24 months. But for Nigeria, harsh weather, Peugeot reduce the duration. I said do either 10 months or 12 months, something like that. It's just like I said, I don't follow all those things, but I know do minimum. For me, it's usually minimum of 8 months. Minimum, not max. Minimum of 8 months. So between 8 months to 10 months, yeah, I can change it anytime at that time. Because I don't get up to that mileage on each of those cars that I use this oil. I don't even think I get up to 5,000 before I get to that. When you have more than one car, more than even two, it's be difficult to overuse one vehicle. Especially if they are fun cars, all of them. You enjoy driving each and every one of them. It'd be difficult to say, no, it's this one I enjoy more, so other ones will just stay unused. You drive this one, you drive this one, you drive this one. What you do? Okay, so I hope you know that now. So I can't tell you what it is. I don't know the condition of your engine. I don't know your driving style. I don't know the condition of your... Because there are so many things that can affect engine oil. That's why I say at least 6 months is better. How is your cooling system, engine cooling system? Have you abused it? If your engine runs colder than you should, it creates condensation inside your engine oil. It deteriorates it. Condensation means it does something like water. It creates vapor that will deteriorate your oil, weaken it faster. So if you leave it for too long, it will... Oil is bad already. It will be causing friction inside your engine. Likewise, if you do short journey, even with this oil, if at the time that your office, you drive so slowly all the time, before you even get to your office every morning, your coolant temperature gauge is still very low. Your oil temperature gauge is also almost at the blue zone. By the time you leave your office in the evening, it's also the weather probably is already colder. Before you get home, so your engine almost 90% of the time in every week is running very cold. Your engine oil will be deteriorating faster compared to the person that the engine runs hotter every day. The hotter your engine, the better for the engine oil. So if your engine is running cold, too cold all the time, your oil will not last. Not that the oil is bad, no, it's just that it won't last. It's as simple as that. It will deteriorate much faster. So all these things will determine. That's why sometimes I have decided to cap it at 6 months. So if you go beyond 6 months and your engine got damage in the process, don't call me. I think that 6 months is good enough. Even if your condensation is there, everything, at least as far as this oil is concerned, you won't be able to cause that harm at that time. So leave it at 6 months. That's my own professional advice. This one, Donald, he said, I'm learning seriously from the master himself, probably gaining much. Okay, a video I did concerning the best 307 for Uber. No, it's not just only one video, I've done a lot of them. Can look it up, just go to my channel, search on it, you'll find a a lot of video on 307. Kevin Steven says, please, I have been using was 5,000 for my EW10 engine. Can I switch to the recommended oil? You can, as long as you are willing to deal with the risk involved. If you are using, let me just forget about first 5. Let's leave first 5,000 for now. Let's say you are using for 7,000, which is recommended for EW10J4. After a long time, now decide to switch to was 9,000, 5W40, fully synthetic. The other one, partial synthetic. What could happen is any of the oil seals on the engine can damage. It could be your valve stem seals. It could be your crankshaft oil seal, either of the two, both sides, or both of them. It could be the camshaft oil seal. Then, if let's assume you are using 20W50 on that EW10J4 engine, and suddenly you now switch to 5W40, because the oil is too thick for that engine, it's not even recommended, and you use it for too long, it's likely must have created clearance on that engine. Your oil pump must have been stressed so much that the oil pump has gotten used to that thick oil, which is not meant for. The bearings on your engines, the one we call metals and the rest, on your crankshaft, and the rest, even your camshaft, there could be some clearance there that is as adapted to that thick oil to flow through it. So when you now introduce something lighter, then that clearance will give up. It will start showing you the sign. And how will you tell? You start here getting all this oil pressure insufficient, oil pressure too low, blah, 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 blah. So it won't even be about the oil seal itself that will be bothering you in that case. It's like your engine is even packing up. So that's what I mean by the risk. That's why when I tell people, buy a Tokumbo engine, buy a new car with Tokumbo car, or a car you know that was well serviced or maintained by the previous owner with the recommended oil, start immediately and start using that recommended oil. The one you know you want to maintain, start using it right there. And some will first start to use thick oil, and then later they start complaining. Or you buy a new car, same thing, start using that recommended one. Just because they wrote 5W40 on total, 5 was 9,000. It does not mean that it's the same thing with the mobile 5W40, that what's it called, Super 3,000. It's not. Yeah, but the both are recommended. But the properties inside the oil are not the same. So most of what you now happen is when you switch, the same recommended oil, the same oil grade, 5W40, same fully synthetic, you switch from total on to mobile on, you may start experiencing oil seal failures. The oil seal is even better because you can always change them, as long as you can get original ones. Even the ordinary ones that are not that high quality, actually they will serve you for a while. So if you can get them, that one is not even a problem. It's the only place that will be a problem if it starts leaking from the side between the engine and the gearbox. That it can be very annoying, because anything, depending on the model, if it's manual gearbox, yeah, you can drop only the gearbox, separate the engine, put the gearbox aside, remove the clutch kit, remove the flywheel, change the seal, put them back. But if it's automatic gearbox, it's most times you just have to remove both the engine and gearbox off the vehicle before you can change that seal. So all this things, that's the only part that is very annoying. The other side can easily be done. Even the crankshaft oil seal on the timing side, all you need to do, remove the timing belt, remove the pulley, change this thing, put it back. So camshaft one same. The one that may be a little bit annoying is the valve stem seals, but it's still not an expensive job. The valve stem seals, they are not an expensive part. The only thing is you have to remove the cylinder head, change, put back. people like me, depending on the engine model, I don't change this cylinder head gasket. I don't care what people think. I've been doing that for years, and it works for me. And it also works for people I use it for. Like I said, depending on the engine model and the quality of gasket I met when I removed the cylinder head. Put it back, it works as if nothing happened. I didn't even touch the cylinder head. So it reduces that cost for you. So what you now deal with only the cost of the valve stem cells, the cost of the technician that will put the valve stem cells, then the labor. In the process of putting the valve stem cells, you use the opportunity, decarbonize the valves, the cylinder heads, the combustion chamber, every part of that place that have accumulated carbons, even on top of the pistons, you decarbonize them. You see, once you start your car, you see difference for a while until carbon start building up again. So it's not like you get something too when you do that. So, but I know it can be annoying to go and remove cylinder head because of one cheap part, which called valve stem cells. They're very cheap, they're not expensive, So those are the only risks involved when you start switching. However, I can tell you a lot of people too I know did the switch and nothing happened. All my cars I bought, I didn't buy any of them new. Even though, so maybe Kuset, Tokumbo, this and that. Yeah, but I don't know what they were using before. But I switched and it didn't happen. Nothing happened to any of the sales or anything. Then on my 406, I was using for 9,000. For some reasons, all these things, I was like, I think I used for 9,000 for like 2 years. I was like, this is not a waste of money. Look at that time was 7,000 was there. And I was saying, is this oil not recommended for the engine? Let me just switch. Guess what? I used it. It was maybe 2-3 months later. I don't even know. Oil started leaking from the crankshaft oil seal between the engine and gearbox. It wasn't fun. It started leaking. Something that did not happen when I used for 9,000 for 2 years. Only for me to switch to this thing. And what only that the engine started becoming too noisy for my liking, which was not there before. So I had to, in anger, to put the gearbox aside, change the valve, the crankshaft oil seal, put it back, switch immediately to was 9,000. That's been there since then. Years after now, no more oil leak. Luckily for me, it was only that seal that failed. None of the other ones were affected. Now my 407, same thing, bought the car immediately. Of course, when I saw it, I knew whatever that was there before, from the look of things, was not that, was 9,000. I used for 9,000. Funny enough, no leakage, nothing, no oil burn, no blue smoke. 2 years after, or 2 or 3 years after, or something, I just said 2 years after, I was like, maybe I could, since now, because at that time when I did the 406 it was 15W50, not 10W40. I was like, okay, 10W40 is not available. Why not switch after it's recommended? I did the switch, boom, valve stem cells failed. So I'm just pointing it out to you to know the risk involved. So some people, I know they changed, they switched, nothing happened. But some did, something happened. And I also did. It happened to me. It's just that so far, there are things I could handle. But it wasn't like I wanted to do them. That I was ready. I wasn't, to be honest, to remove the cylinder head and change the valve stem cells. I was not thinking of it at all. It's just that what I'm not so angry is, sometime last year, I imported from Europe high quality valve stem cells for the ES engines. Just like ES9A and ES9J4, they use the same valve stem cells. But for the ES9J4, I think their valve stem cells is different. I can't remember for sure. So I ordered for high quality one, specifically from Germany, not just Europe. But Europe anyway. Ordered it, kept it. I wanted to sell. At the point I was like, come on, you have 3 of this engine. What if one of them requires this? You start reporting. By that time, importing it might not be physical or feasible anymore, or easy as it was for me last year. So I changed my mind. I wasn't going to sell anymore. I mean, if I decide, let's assume now that I've sold it and now that it's happened, for me to import it, it probably will be like triple cost of what I got. Because I know when I put it up for sale, I think it was 27,000. Yeah, it was 27,000 that I put it, just a little profit from the purchase cost. When I mean purchase cost, I mean landing cost. Because I had to go and buy black market. It's not like I use Naira card. I had to go and buy black market dollar. Deposited it in the account before I could use my dollar card to make the transaction or the payment. So I knew how much I bought the dollar at that time. Imagine how much it is now, and every other thing, and the cheap. It's not like the seller didn't even ship directly to me. He had to pay cheap to some of these shipping companies in Europe, and they are cheap direct. So I paid for that shipping from there to there. I also paid another shipping cost from there to Nigeria. So I don't know how much it will be now. So that's why I'm not so bitter about it. Since I have the part anyway, and luckily for me, very good quality one. So majority is just for me to make out. I will just spend just a little. The team I will work with in that replacement, the technician that will swap it, all those things. That's the only money I know I will spend. So it's something that it may take about 2 days, because VCs, you can't just remove the cylinder head and couple it that same day. And unless you dive on the side. It's usually a 2 days job. Or I don't know what. Anything is possible, but I always classify a 2 day job. Remove to go and put and then couple back. It's most likely it's really, so it's something I have to plan towards and one day get it done. But also for me, I think I'm not living in a hurry, because it only happened once, because I let the engine to sleep for days or a few weeks. So the oil, because what usually happens is when the valve stem cells start to become weak, oil will start seeping through it and be dropping down into the on top of the piston. It will enter into the combustion chamber and settle on top of the piston. So when you now start the engine, when it's still cold, it will burn off immediately. You see that smoke, just boom, you see it outside. That immediately the engine crank or starts, you see the smoke, boom, immediately. Then it dries off, no more. So ever since that time, I've been using the car today, tomorrow, or maybe in 2 days' time. It hasn't smoked again. So, but I know if I park it for another long time. So as it is now, it's not like it's in a very bad condition, because still oil is not shorting. So, it may not even be this year that I'll do it. So I'm not like watching it. It's only when it now get to become worse that almost every morning, if I start the car, it does it. Then it's time for me to do it. Or I start to see that my oil has started going down, shorting without any leakage. Yeah, I will have to do it. So I'm not like in a hurry. Like I say, probably, who knows, next year or so. It's not work I'm planning to do anytime soon. So the risk is there. So I can't tell you to switch or not to switch, but now you know what it might happen if you do, or why it might not happen. It might not happen to you. But in your own case, it's not even about leakage. It's about oil pressure issue thing. Because if you're using thick oil, it might be lucky. Maybe it hasn't been too long. I don't know. So just make up your mind and go with the risk, or leave it as it is. Maybe if your engine eventually packs up, because it's going to pack as far as you're using this oil for 5,000 engine, just expect. I always tell people, start planning towards changing that engine soon. It's not even about the rings. Once you start using oil too thick for an engine, forget about rings. Because your rings will fail, but what about the crankshaft bearing, your crankshaft itself, the camshaft itself, the oil pump itself? All those things are being stressed by that thick oil. So it's not just about the rings. The only thing that might happen, you change the rings, your engine start burning oil, but your engine power has dropped, because as your engine starts losing All these things start being affected, the crankshaft, the this thing, the bearings, the this thing, the power will be dropping. If you push the engine too hard, push it to the floor, you hear you hear friction as in grinding sound to tell you, right? Be careful. So if you see people pushing their RPM to the red zone, it's no longer for you. Once you start using all those thick oil, if you keep doing that, one day your crankshaft break. Crankshaft can break. Oh, is that what, people don't know that. That time we were using 504 back in the days. But I mean, everybody was almost using that. Go and ask some 504 users, especially those that bought Nigerian Assemble. Their crankshaft were breaking at, people just be revving it anyhow. If you push it anyhow, because that time everybody was using like grease inside the engine. Which oil? Nobody was using oil. It's basically baptized grease in the name of oil that people were putting. So the crankshaft, I'm not talking about camshaft, crankshaft, they were all breaking into two. Once you push the RPM so high several times, boom, that's all. Yeah, the engine is gone. So crankshaft can break. So it's because of all those bad oil people were using. You are just grinding, not even friction, you are just grinding. When you tell people, stop using this, it's not good. People, this manufacturer have done this test for you. They've done all kinds of tests, run different kinds of oil and come out and say, this oil is not good, this one is good. If you want your engine to reach close to 1 million kilometer mileage, this oil will be able to take you there. This one, that one. This one will make your fuel consumption lower. This one will increase your fuel consumption. So people in Nigeria will tell them, we cannot sabi anything. Nigeria is hotter than Saudi Arabia. Nigeria is hotter than all the people that live close to desert. Nigeria is hotter than all the Middle Eastern countries. No, we must use grease in our oil. I mean, the stupidity is so glaring, because it's not about ignorance. No, it's actually stupid because the way we think. You don't need to be an expert to understand. Look at your logic. Look at what you're even saying. Anyway, moving on. Wed Stallion TV. Thank you, Mr. Ikenna. What can be done to correct or remove rust from the cooling system? No, go and watch a lot of my video. I've talked about it. It depends on the degree of rust. If it has gotten that bad that the engine now, when you open, not the engine, you open where you pour coolant, that container, expansion tank, or reservoir, or you remove your radiator and you see things like sand coming out that looks like sand, or what we call poto. Now, if it has gotten that bad, forget about coolant for the meantime. Honestly, it won't do anything. What you could be doing is, let me advise, what you could do is, it will take a while. It's going to do a lot of work. You pour water. You have to be using water for a while. You use water, start the engine, let it get very hot. Maybe you drive it for 2 days or that same day or time, but it needs to get hot. If your fan is still automatic, factory connection, let it come up, go off, come up, go off. If possible, drive the car. Once it has become very, very hot, immediately you get somewhere, you switch off the engine, maybe at the workshop or at your place. If you can do it yourself, you switch off the engine. Your radiator have upper and lower hoses. Depending on the connection, the two of them might even will be connected on top. But what matters is one of them must be below the other on the engine, especially the thermostat housing. But even it depends. Sometimes the hoses, the lower one will be on the lower part of the radiator. The upper one will be on the upper part of the radiator. You will also see that same connection, it will go the same way to the thermostat housing. The one on the upper part of the radiator will go to the thermostat, the lower opening on the thermostat housing. Likewise, the upper one will be on the upper opening. So if the radiator is the two of them are placed on top or by the side, the two hoses, you just go to the thermostat housing. Whichever one that is lower, on the lower part of the other, is considered the lower part of the lower hose of the radiator. Once the engine is down, once you need to note the hose first. Once you have done your engine and become that hot, then switch off your engine, go and remove that lower hose. Like I said, if you are not technical, have your mechanic do that. You know how to remove the hose. Remember, it's going to be that hot. Cover all the places that need to be covered, like if it's automatic gearbox, cover your ECU that is on top of the gearbox. That if it's AMCs or ATCs, if it's 4HP20 and AM4 88, cover your multifunction switch. You know, anything that because immediately you pull that hose, don't open the coolant reservoir. Just remove whatever that is holding the lower hose on the bottom of the radiator or on the lower part of lower opening of the thermostat housing, which is on the engine. Pull it when that engine is still hot, as if it's still boiling. Pull. Wear whatever you need to wear on your hand so that heat won't burn your hand. Pull it out, you see it's going to go sharp. You look as in splash every part of that place where that thing is facing. Going to go sharp. What you are doing at that time is, when the engine is cold, all those rust or things that look like sand, or those rusty water colored or whatever, will settle on the settle on some, like on the engine block, or sometimes they will even gum, depending on what you want to remove. Let's assume water mixed with your engine oil is going to discolor everywhere, all those things. So you can also do this, apply this same method. But when it's hot, as you are removing that hose, that pressure will push everything. We won't allow anything to settle. We won't allow anything to come to the part of on the engine block, on the whatever. It will push to the point until it's as if all of them will evaporate. Of course, there will still be some water, but it will push. If it's not hot, if you draw, it will just be just little that will come out. The ones around the engine block will fall. But this one, it will even push even the one in the radiator, everything out. You can see on the ground as it's pouring, you could see that, yeah, it has so much effect. So once it starts coming out, you know it has stopped. You put everything back. Don't pour water. Leave your engine till it cools off, because at that time, every piece inside your engine, the cylinder head gasket, everything is still red. Not necessarily red, but very, very hot. So if you pour hot water at that time, it might damage your cylinder head or your head gasket. Not good. Leave it, let it cool off. I don't know, depending on the weather, it could take more than 2 hours or less, 30 minutes, 1 hour. Like I said, engine needs to calm down. Go and be checking your temperature. You can switch on ignition, check your coolant temperature gauge. Even though it may not be accurate way of knowing the two, because there's no more coolant. So your CTA is no longer sensing anything mostly. But my point is, there will still be some few small water trapped anyway. But let it cool down. Once it cool down, then you can pour water, bleed again. Use the car for another day or two. You have to do this for some time. You will now get a point when you now remove that thing, that hose. You can see the color of water coming out is now becoming clearer. Once you start getting to that point, then that's when you can now introduce coolant. If you introduce coolant from day one, you see the coolant, no matter the color, if it will change to that rust, it's not going to do anything. It will be as if you just wasted your money. That's one of the ways I apply that method. So it works. It can work for you. It will take a while, honestly. It take a while. Even as you are doing that, you still realize that it will stay clear. It take a while. So, but what I do is, when this kind of thing happen, By the time it becomes clear, use green colored coolant. Don't use red. Use green. Don't use pink. Green, even if green is usually not the best in terms of quality. Currently, I'm not saying they are bad, but I'm saying in terms of the red, the genuine red coolant, they can last longer. They are they are done to last much longer than the green ones. So, and they protect the engine, that's the cooling system much better. Yeah, they're usually oil. They are just better, they are newer. The green ones are old technology, but it can still serve. So the reason why you are going to use the green is is more dominant. It will keep even if the color will still change, but it won't be that much. So green will help you keep using green. After you do change, once you get a point, you now see that the color has now stayed constantly dark. That normal green color is no longer changing. Then anytime you want, can use any color of green coolant you want. If you gotta use red, it will automatically, if you change that back, you won't even know. You can't be able to tell if truly the water, the rust, all those rusty color has cleared. Okay, so I hope this makes sense, and that's my method I apply. So hope it works for you or any other person interested. Ibrahim Dodo, he said, thank you, Mr. Ken. My comment is on the first person that talk about ABS issue and your advice on getting scanning machine to investigate the issue properly. But the issue here is how I guess I have code, but the code is actually going now. Just a little bit cough and here and there. But the issue here is how will you even know the right diagnosing machine? Because some diagnosing machine from various electricians couldn't solve my problem. Today, Mr. A with his diagnosing machine will tell you this fault, while Mr. B will give you another different fault, which all couldn't solve your problem. The question is how will someone identify an electrician with good perfect diagnosing machine? You're talking about how to identify. I can't be a Peugeot expert and be using non-Peugeot diagnostic tool. Does it make any sense? Okay. Joke aside. There are people. Okay, I can't tell you how you can identify. What matters is what tool does the person have. There are so many diagnostic tools. It's not only scanner. There are some faults in your vehicle that may not require scanner, but it requires another type of special tool, diagnostic tool, to be able to figure it out. I have so many of them. I use it depending on what I'm diagnosing or what the issue is. I mustn't bring out the scanner. There's so many things that can be used. So for the ABS, of course, scanner. So what kind of scanner? PP2000 or Diagbo. I always say that it has not going. It doesn't matter as far as Peugeot is concerned. Peugeot, Citroen, what this other brand, DS as well. But we always talk about Peugeot. Yeah, you see about Peugeot. Before it used to be lazier PP2000. Now everybody talking about Diagbo. But I always use that one PP2000 because it doesn't matter. It's still, whether the name has changed. Just assume it's with that same word. Lazier 3, PP2000. There are so many versions, software versions. It doesn't matter. Depending on your engine, the vehicle model anyway, there is Diagbo. See, it just go online and search PP2000 or Diagbox. You see when you see it's basically the same thing. Just that the software version will not determine the name they want to call it. It's the same thing. So it's better you just call it PP2000. Most people that use Citroen their own before used to be Lexia, Lexia. But now I think they've joined almost everything inside Diagbox. So It's no longer differentiated, unless maybe they, I don't know. In fact, I'm not that an expert per se when it comes to all those the software differences on that PP2000 thing. All I know is just go to eBay, what's it called? eBay, Jumia, all these online shopping sites. Just do a search, PP2000. You will see everything. Or just click Peugeot Planet 2000. Or type in Diagbos, Diagbos, one word. You see it. Lexia, Lexia. You see, you just bring out everything. The only thing you now start going through them to know the version of software, whether it can work on your car. It's not some software version determine which vehicle that are listed on that version that can access. You can use that model of as interface or the software to access those vehicles. So it depends. That's what I say. That's what you're looking at for issues like, for example, ABS. It's standard. No matter the version of PP2000, once it can access your car, if it's a front wheel, left front wheel ABS wheel sensor issue, it will all of them will send the same thing. But when you now use non-Peugeot this thing, some are professional scan too, but I still I've realized that even all those that have those expensive professional scan too, they always one way or the other come back or look for someone that have PP2000 to stay come and scan. Because most times, the ones I've done, I realize that the definition of the Peugeot on the definition of code, because it will give you the same error code. Though. Most times, the same error code you find sometimes different error codes you find in non-Peugeot scan tools. Even the professional one, you see a different code or same code but different definition. You put Peugeot on same different code or the same code with different definitions. So that's why I rely, because the Peugeot definition is the specific. It's telling you exactly, not the one that we use one code. So there's some code you go and check online. It will tell you, let's assume P0 or something. It will tell you, oh, it's your ignition coil is bad. But you scan with Peugeot, it will show you the code. But then the definition will tell you, no, it's not the ignition coil. It's your fuel injector. So which one will you take? Will you go and take the generic one that have nothing to do with Peugeot? You use the one because this is the one Peugeot designed for their cars to be able to access. So they know how it reads your Peugeot system better than the generic one. So that's what I tell people. Use that one. The only annoying part is that PP2000 can be very, very annoying to install. It can be very frustrating. There's a newer version now which I have to invest more than 100,000 to be able to use. The ones you can use for these newer Peugeot vehicles, 2016 upward, 2018 or 2019 Peugeot car. You have to spend money because the interface are different. Is different. The software version is different. You have to pay for access. You have to pay online before the program you've installed or the software you installed can be activated before you can scan. I mean, you'll be ready to spend more than 100K. Upon say I have PP2000. It's very annoying. Even to do the installation, it's not that easy. We're going back and forth. Though once you learn it, you learn it. You can close your eye and do the installation. Once you learn, but that first time, or you have somebody, pay somebody else to take that headache from you, to do it for you. So that's the only thing. So once you see if you see anybody that have PP2000, I mean, hail the person. You got to go to some tough time to have it working on your laptop. Trust me. The only difference is the person probably just paid. So the only pain in fact was the money going out of his pocket for somebody to do the installation and handle that headache. But doing it yourself, especially if you are still learning, haha. The reason why is this troublesome because it's pirated. If you want the genuine, Peugeot don't give genuine ones to individuals. You have to be an accredited Peugeot technician, accredited technician by Peugeot for you to have the genuine direct bus, which of course will cost way higher than what you see online. You know, so those ones can easily. I don't know. I've never done the installation of those ones, so I assume it may not be as hard as it could still be. Or who knows? You know, so those are the things you'll be looking out for. Who has PP2 tire? Insist. Insist. It will help you more. I'm not saying the other ones will not, but there are some scan tools that can't even access some of the things. There are scan tools that can't access your ABS, which Peugeot will do. Peugeot people, direct bus will do. There are scan tools that can't even access. I remember there was one special scan tool that you could plug in. It will be. What will happen? The VVT solenoid. No, the VVT variable timing camshaft sprocket was loose. The 4 ball, it was 406 VC. The 4 balls holding one of those camshafts was we are loose, so the camshaft shifted. No, the sprocket shifted, not the camshaft. So that VVT solenoid was reporting something was wrong. But it was only on PP2000. If you put all the professional scan tool or non-Peugeot scan tool, it won't say anything concerning VVT. But the symptom was there. The engine lost power. There was no power, no V6 power anymore. It was just driving as if the fuel pump was bad. There was no pressure. So the engine lost power. It was just driving very slowly and gradually, and not as if the engine was crying, "Hey, help, help, help." Until I put my PP2000, boom, I said, "Oh, come on, something is wrong." Open the timing chamber, open timing meter. Look at it. I have to remove the timing belt again, reset it, and now tight the camshaft, that particular sprocket very well. The issue went away. But they said they kept using all kinds of scan tools that are not PP2000. It never showed anything about that VTC sprocket. You see where I'm saying? That's why I said I don't care anymore about how expensive generic scan tool is, how good it is. If it's not PP2000, if it's not that Peugeot scan tool, I don't care. I'm not using it. I'm not buying it. Unless maybe tomorrow, eventually, maybe I have another brand of car. I know it's not Peugeot. I added it. Fine. I could maybe get it. I know, okay, for this car. But as far as Peugeot is concerned, if it's not Peugeot, it's not for me. Peugeot, yeah. I mean, come on. This is your car. You design and produce something. Then you produce or you contract somebody to produce a scan tool to use in diagnosing the system of your car. Using exactly what you produce to design how to assess that thing, to diagnose, to know what is wrong. And now you're telling me to go and use the one another person did that probably have, it's just trying to generic. That's why I call them generic. You can only assess what it can. So some of these systems, they kind of lock some things out. Not everything can assess them. Especially in the engine ECU. So you have to use that Peugeot one to be able to access those information or data. Okay, so I hope it makes sense. I think this video probably must have stayed too long. So I'm going to stop here. These are older ones, maybe some other time. So we'll see about, let's see how long now. It's over 1 hour now, 1 hour 30 minutes, 33 minutes. So maybe till next time. So have any questions, just post it here. One thing I do here is not like I'm here to say it's perfectly for solution for everything. I'm doing it my own way by applying, adding logic and certain things. You know that even if my own method is not that best, even if I'm not like you believe I'm not correct, there's a better way or there's a correct information than what I'm saying. You know that, yeah, science there, but come on, apply logic as well. help you understand why I use some of my method, or why I choose to go this route, or why I choose this or that. That's what I do. I know some people feel like find some of these my videos too long. I don't care. Go out for those ones with 30 minutes. This is my thing. This is how it is. So I don't have to do it your own way, or the way you like it. If you want me to do it for you exactly what you pay me, then I'll do a special video for you. If you want 10 minutes, I'll do it. Pay me the amount I'm comfortable with, but you might not gain, because some of this information won't be able to go. Everything can't come out within 10 minutes. The only way people that can do it is people that will do cut and join, editing. No, I don't have that kind of time. I have so many other things I do. This is not like if I'm doing this for a living, like this is my career or something I focus on now full time. Yeah, it makes sense. You do a 1 hour video, then you start cutting, join until it becomes 10-minute video to get the vital information. It all depends. So but someone that really want to learn, I don't need to say much on that. If you don't like my videos, don't bother watching. If you want the way you want, you pay me, I'll do it the best I can. So post your questions, I'll respond when I have time. Because right now I have 2 cars I need to advertise. That I need to prepare the advert and the rest, and maybe tomorrow or later in the night I'll publish them. We'll see. All right, so till next time.